over the next couple of months, I start to dig a bit deeper. I find out this story about the Mojiang mine shaft, the connection with the Wuhan Institute of Virology, the fact that they were bringing samples from bats 1,000 miles to the northeast, the distance from Miami to New York or London to Rome, it's not next door, and experimenting on them in the Wuhan Institute of Virology. And then I found out the experiments they were doing on them. They were synthesizing viruses through a technique called reverse genetics. They were swapping genes in and out of viruses to test how dangerous these viruses were, etc. And then suddenly, in May of 2020, a paper appears online, a draft paper, a preprint, from a team of 3 scientists, one of whom was called Alina Chan, and she was the moving force behind this paper, saying, there's something weird about this outbreak that looks very different from SARS. This virus was very well adapted to human beings from the start. It didn't evolve very much in the first couple of months. That's surprising. Normally, if you've just jumped out of a bat and this is your first experience inside a human body, you've got to make some pretty rapid genetic switches to get good at infecting these new hosts called humans. Not least because in bats, this is an intestinal virus. In humans, it's a respiratory virus. So you're dealing with the lungs of a completely different, quite distinct mammal species. So you need to evolve like crazy to get good at this, right? To get infectious, to get, good at replicating and so on. This one doesn't seem to have done that. It seems to have been ready to go from the outset. Now that suggested to Alina Chan that we need to take seriously the possibility that it might have been the result of a laboratory accident, that it had been in human cells in the lab as part of an experiment, and it had jumped. At the same time, that very same week in May of 2020, the head of the Centers for Disease Control in Beijing, a man named George Gao, announced that the market was not the site where it began. He was confident it was not. Well, since then, we've had American scientists saying we're confident it is, but George Gao hasn't changed his tune. He published something again in 2021 saying, no, I really don't think it did start in that market. I think the market was an amplifying event. It was a super spreader event. Somebody went to the market and gave it to a bunch of other people. But we've looked for it in animals in the market and we haven't found it. We can't find an infected animal in that market. We can find samples on the doorknobs, on the countertops, in the sewage, things like that, but they're the human version of the virus. So those two things, the fact that it was well adapted to humans from the start, the fact that it didn't seem to have come from the market, and then behind this, the knowledge that it had actually, the closest relative had been collected a long way away but brought to Wuhan, made me reopen my mind about whether or not this might be a laboratory leak. And within a few months, I was collaborating with Alina Chan on writing this book, and both of us remained agnostic. We didn't know what the answer was. But as time went on and we turned up more evidence, we became more and more convinced that actually the lab leak is not only possible, but probable. And that it needs to be taken very seriously. And yet we hit a brick wall with the scientific establishment. They kept saying, no, nothing to see here. We don't want to discuss it. We don't want to have debates about it. This is, a conspiracy theory or whatever. No, it's not. It's a distinct possibility.
So Jim Rickards has just recorded a video that's not available to anyone in the public, and he's going to be talking about how this upcoming recession is going to be fast, it's going to be bloody, it's going to be nasty. But at the same time, he's going to show you how you can position yourself to profit from all of this chaos. Now, we've made this video only available to our viewers. Go to londonreal.tv/Jim. Watch that immediately. I can't say enough good things about Jim Rickards. He understands the global economic system better than any guest I've ever had on London Real. His predictions are almost uncannily true, and you can learn how to profit from his vision, from his expertise, and his understanding of economics. So go to londonreal.tv/Jim or click the link below. It's an excellent, excellent look on what's going to happen in the future and how you can position yourself to profit from that. Jim is one of the best in the business, one of my favorite guests on London Real, and he's very, very good at predicting the future and showing us all to profit from it. So click the link, and I hope you enjoy. Hey, do you want to profit from crypto? Then join my DeFi Academy. The Crypto DeFi Academy will help you create generational wealth. But don't take my word for it. Listen to my students.
When I first got into crypto, I remember thinking to myself, I need to learn more. Brian Rose, learning crypto, learning DeFi, gotta do it.
I am so grateful that I jumped in and did this. I had to break through some limiting beliefs that I can do this, that I can afford this, that I can be in this.
It challenges the things that are deeply rooted within us.
Joining DeFi Academy has been one of the best decisions I have made on my blockchain journey.
This course was a life changer, a game changer, a huge eye-opener, coming from knowing practically nothing at the speed of the learning over 4 weeks was just fantastic.
The information you provided in this class was invaluable.
I feel far more confident in my next steps.
You took complex concepts and made them easier to understand.
What's different than so many other ones is it just doesn't tell you what to do. It actually makes you do it.
This is for people who are serious about becoming traders. This is the way it should be done.
I realized from this learning experience again that it is not about what you learn, but about who you learn it from.
The energy was insane. I've never experienced such incredible energy on a live call. Brian Rose, you are a legend, my friend.
It's the only thing in the market where you can get all information and learn everything what you need to know.
Everything is so clear and so well done, and I'm just forever grateful for this program.
It made me feel so much more confident about crypto than I did before.
I did not anticipate how passionate I was going to become about it.
It's also been like a big learning experience for me, not just in the crypto space, but just in overall balance of life.
What I've learned is, how to take ownership, of my life in a way that I really hadn't before.
Yeah, you can't put a price on that, really.
I would recommend it to anybody, top notch.
Excellence does not come cheap. So if you want excellence, you got to pay for it, but it's so worth it.
Pull the trigger. That's what this course is about.
You're not going to regret it, really. It's amazing.
Thank you, Brian and team.
So what are you waiting for? Crypto is happening now. Click the link below, submit your application, and let me mentor you on how to create generational wealth and build the decentralized financial infrastructure of the future.